All right, this is my Bitmoji session. It is the first time that I have taught it, so I do use these quite frequently, and you can see that if you are looking for this presentation, you will see that I have the link down here. It is a bit.ly link, and we'll go ahead and move on into this. If you don't know what a Bitmoji is, it is basically or your own personal emoji. You can make it look like you. As you can see, mine is right there, and he kind of looks like me if I worked out about 2 or 3 hours a day for the next 6 months. You can locate the site at bitmoji.com, and you see that they have mobile apps for both iOS and Android. There's also a Chrome extension, and each one of these can be put into, or your Bitmojis can be put into social media tools, your Gmail, your Google Docs, your Google Slides, and more. And what we're going to do is explore all of this today. We'll take a little time to show you how to use this, just the basic uses of it, and then we'll talk about some ways you can use these in your classroom. But before we go on, we must address the first elephant in the room. Why did I schedule this webinar during the NCAA basketball tournament? Well, I simply forgot. So if anybody's a basketball fan, you will realize that, yeah, I kind of goofed here, but I would be at work anyway. So I guess that would be the reason that I did it. And then now we're going to address the second elephant in the room, the content rating of the Bitmoji app. When you look at it, you're going to see that it is listed as a teen app, but it will also, it also may list that there could be language or other inappropriate content possibly in these Bitmojis. Now, your kids are using things like this. There's your news flash for you. They're going to use things like this. So it gives us the opportunity, if we're going to allow them to use them, to teach some digital citizenship lessons. So, if you're going to, we want to teach them to be responsible, and so and to realize that they're considered, they're responsible for what they post, whether it be physically or digitally. So you have a big opportunity to teach digital citizenship if you allow them to use it. Now, if that's a problem, you can go with teacher use only, and you're going to see a lot of ways that teachers can use these as we progress through this session. Or you may look for an alternative. There's been a couple that have been suggested to me, and I didn't put them on here, but you can find all kinds of cartoon makers or cartoon yourself or superhero yourself to give yourself a personal emoji or cartoon or avatar that you might be able to use to kind of represent you as you teach, and then all your documentation and your web presence, that type of thing. All right, so Keisha, can you hear me okay? Oh, no response. It's kind of scary. I might have heard something, so I guess everything's all right. Okay, thank you, Russ. So moving on along here let's get back to work. All right, so how do you create your Bitmoji? Don't panic, this is not hard. You can do it from your desktop using the Chrome browser. You can use the mobile app. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this link for desktop and kind of show you how you would make a Bitmoji, how to make your own. I have I'll use that's a video right there. I forgot about that. That is a video that actually will walk you through doing it with your Chrome browser. And then the next one is actually a video that will take you and tell you how to use it with your mobile app. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go up here and open a new tab. And I'm going to go to bitmoji.com, and this is where you start. Okay, and you know, to create an account, you see I don't really have it. You know, it's not here. You have to put it on your Google Chrome first. So you know, you can go to bitmoji.com and you click Get It on Google Chrome, and you're going to add the extension. And in just a moment, the extension is going to pop up. And this is what you see. And you can create, you know, you can log in with Facebook if you like. You know, you can sign in with an email. Notice over here it says sign up, also says sign up down here. So I'm just going to click sign up with an email. Oops, double click there. All right, my name is going to be ATiM. Okay, and I'll use a generic username here. Let's see here. I think I have a, let's see, 201, I believe it's that one, at gmail.com. Let's put in a password. So it's simple as that to set up. Yes, this is Bitmoji, bitmoji.com. All right, and I'm going to sign up, and we're not going to say the password. And when you get here, it's going to ask you, do you want to be, you know, do you want to choose a female or do you want to choose a male? And so I'm going to choose the male. And originally, this was, you know, brought forth by Bitstrips. And so you can choose the Bitstrip style or you can choose the Bitmoji style. I like the Bitmoji style just because they seem to be a little more fun, but the Bitstrip style may offer you some, if you're going to possibly use, you know, some historical figures or things like that, you may want to look at Bitstrips as well. But we'll do Bitmoji style right now. And notice you can choose their face shape. We'll kind of go this guy. All right, you just click that, and then you move on. There's an arrow right up here, and you choose the skin tone, and you will go, you know, change it to that one, or maybe this. No, that's a, yeah. Okay, we'll go back to normal. All right, and then you choose the hair color, and I'm kind of this color with a little bit of brown and gray right there. All right, and then we're going to come over here and choose hair. Now, I'm going to make myself how I would like my hair to be. How about this right here? Yeah, there we go. All right. Oh, maybe this. I'd really like to have that much hair. This is more like me right here. Maybe with this one. But and so we'll go with the fun one just for the sake of what we're doing here. All right, and then we're going to move through, and you can choose your eyebrows, you know, that type of thing. And so you choose the eyebrow color, and you can choose your eye color, what your nose looks like, what your mouth looks like, and if you have any facial hair, there we go. There's me right there. Okay, and then you can choose your beard color, and then your eye details. You know, you can see, you can go through cheek details. You can make this as detailed as you want, get it to look like you, add glasses. I always like to wear the hat, but that'll kind of defeat the purpose with my nice mohawk here. All right, and so now we get to choose our build. We'll go with this one just to make myself feel better. And then we get to choose your outfits. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you make yours on the app, you get more outfits. They have a lot of fashion outfits and work outfits and things like that. So I'm always a little limited when I go here to that, and I don't ever dress like that. So let's go back up here. This would be more like me right there. We'll go with that one. All right. And so you can choose that, and if that's the one you like, you save it, and you are now ready to use your Bitmoji avatar with the Chrome extension. And now notice I will click here and show you that it shows all the different categories. You can click along the bottom to see the new ones, and notice, you know, some of them will be appropriate and some will be inappropriate. A new one that's been added is, you know, is not one of my favorite ones, and right now they're not loading. I don't know why we're being so slow here. So let's see here. Oh, there we go. There's the sad ones. I'm not sure why they're going so slow here, and so you can see the different ones that you can use right there. So in just a moment, we'll come back and show you how that works to add one in. As a matter of fact, I'll be able to add one in right here to show you how easy it is to add one to a Google Slides presentation. So I'll click here, and I'll choose this guy right here, and I'll just drag him right down in there. Well, not sure what just happened right there. Let's see here. Let's back that up a little bit. Not sure why that guy did that. Normally it's maybe a little different on a Mac. Let's see here. What does it say here? Right click and choose copy image. Oh, okay. So we're going to have to control click. There we go. We'll just copy image, and then we'll come down here and paste the image into it. That's interesting. Oh yeah. Oh, I know why it's doing this. I don't own this. I don't own this particular presentation on my wife's computer. That would be it. Okay, so let's see which one she's in. Okay, good deal. Let me refresh it real fast. And now I do. So I can bring this one down in there, and voila. And you see I can change the size and put this guy right in there. So you can have a little fun with this. It's really nice for enhancing your Google Slides presentations. All right, now for the mobile app, I'm not going to walk through that because I don't really have a way to display that through this with WebEx. I started to do a video, and then I was kind of scared that it would back down and bog down the system. So I put a nice step-by-step from Sylvia Duckworth. You guys may be familiar with her. She has a lot of the sketch notes, really awesome stuff. And so she has on a slideshow called Do You Bitmoji. And I'm going to click down here, and it will actually show you how to insert it. It walks through the steps for using the extension, but she also has a nice way of telling you how to use it with a mobile device, you know, an iPhone or, you know, any iOS. And so you see you put the app on there, you log in, you know, you can create your Bitmoji from that app. Like I said, you get better outfits. And when you go to the app, you pick the one you want and you share it however you like, whether it be a email or text message, something like that. Okay. And then you also can put the Bitmoji keyboard on there, and you actually can just, you know, use the Bitmojis as a, you know, to type in your different apps. And that's on the iOS. You can kind of see the steps are right through here. And then here's the Android, and this is the one that I'm more familiar with, being that I've been an Android user for about the past year. As you can see that you go to the app and you click on the Bitmoji that you want. You can search for them and that type of thing. And then you can actually, you know, you pick which way you want to use it. So I'm constantly using it via Twitter or Facebook or text messages. So that's how I usually use the Bitmojis. You can kind of see it comes down through here. You can also do the keyboard on the Android. I don't particularly care for that because it's kind of strange. So I usually just go and get the app and choose it from there. So the step-by-step with some screenshots, a fantastic resource for you to have there. And so that's kind of how that's how you use it. I primarily use it to text message on my phone, and when I'm building a presentation or handout or something, and I'm going to enhance that, I use the Chrome extension. So, how do you use it? Guess what? It's also built into your Gmail. And so when you are pulling up your Gmail, and let's see here, I'm going to see if I can open an incognito window down here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to put my Gmail in here. Let's see here, gmail.com. All right, and we here real quick, show you how it works with Gmail. Oh, come on. Here we go. All right, so we compose. And, oh, I guess since I'm not using that, I can't put it in there, so I'm going to have to open it up as a regular window. Sorry about that. What happens when you have sound problems, and then you have to switch computers. Let me see some of my wife's email here. Let's just go to compose real fast. Got it. All right, let's maximize that. There we go. All right, do you see down here? Now this is going to be funny. My wife's sending Bitmojis like this. I'll send one to myself. So there's me. And you click insert the Bitmoji, and it works the same way. So you just click the one you want, and it's in there. So you can send them via Gmail. Really nice, easy way to do things right there. All right, so I'm going to close that one out and come back over here. You got Google Slides. I've already shown that one to you. If you had Microsoft Word, you know, or I guess you know, Pages or Keynote or one of those things, you can use those as well. And so you can see that you know, you can put them in those. You just copy and paste there. It's not built into it, but you just copy and paste. You can also copy and paste it into Facebook. You just go copy, and when you go in and paste, it puts it in like a picture. I just actually learned that yesterday. I've always saved it. Basically gone up here to the Chrome extension, and I've right-clicked on it. Let's see here. Let's do this one. I right-clicked on it, and I saved the image as, and you know, I'll name it something, and I'll stick it on the desktop and save, and then that image is right there for you as a picture that you could insert in like any other picture into a Word document or a PowerPoint, or you can upload it to Twitter like you would share a picture. So a lot of the other tools that you might want to use are that same, you know, they work that same way. Let me get my speaker notes back off again. Don't need those. And so a lot of different ways you can do it. So you know, you just kind of test it which way you want to do, whether it be built in, copy and paste, or you save the image. And a lot of times on your phone, you have to save the image too to get it to work. So here we go. How to use Bitmoji. We've already talked about that you use the app, the keyboard. It's different for different ways. I guess I got ahead of myself there. And sometimes you do have to just save it to your phone. Now, there is a cool thing. If you're a Snapchat user, you can use a thing called Friendmojis. And what these Friendmojis do is on Snapchat, you actually, if you're friends with somebody on Snapchat, and I'm not a huge Snapchat user, and so my wife and I were actually testing this out, and we never could get it to work exactly right earlier today. I got it to send to her, but apparently she couldn't be my friend, so I don't know if we were filtered or what. But you got the Friendmojis. You actually can combine two Bitmojis in one picture. So it's pretty cool. I've linked Friendmoji down there, and Snapchat, this guy that he did the best explanation that I found of how to do it. And so it's a YouTube video, and you can go and click on that and you know, find out how to do that with Snapchat if you're a Snapchat user. It's pretty cool stuff that you can do. I wanted to put one on this page, but like I said, it was kind of flaking out on me. We believe we were filtered, and so it just kind of had that issue. So, all right. So we're going to stop just for a second and ask questions. I'm going to look over here at the chat bar. You know, I don't see. Let's see. Yeah, Barry Wigington has just posed that, you know, if you change the outfit on the app, it does change it on the Chrome extension to match. As a matter of fact, as you see, I can, if I were signed in on my computer, you would see that my little guy here with the jacket and the sweater the jacket and the sweater is actually, you know, that's not one of the choices I have when I was doing the outfits. So anyway, I don't. If you have any questions, type them over there, and hopefully Keisha will let me know that you have them. So if there's no questions, we'll move on along for some educational usage. Close the chat out here. We're going to do educational uses. But first, we do have a visitor. Barry, this is my webinar. But Barry wants you to check out this Padlet. Okay. So what is this Padlet here? Oh, okay. So we have some, if you want to share your ideas, we have a Padlet over here. Notice it's quite festive on St. Patrick's Day Eve. If you have some ideas of how you would use them or ways that you have used them, share them here. We'd love to have a resource for some other ways. I'm going to share with you about 10 different ways that you can use these, but we'd love to have some more. So if you're familiar with Padlet, you can click over here. All right, Barry, let's move on to the next page. All right, so here we go. We're going to look at some teacher uses, some student uses, some best practices, and most of these are borrowed, so I give some respect to the people that have shared these. I did some research a while back when we decided I was going to do this webinar, and then I've kind of studied up on it a little bit more lately. So Barry's up here chatting. What's the question, Barry? All right. So I thought he would appreciate that. Okay. So educational uses of Bitmoji. We're going to start with my most frequent and favorite method, and that's, well, other than text conversations with my wife, and you see she's going to make an appearance down here. And yeah, that's about her response when I showed her the Bitmoji I was using for this page. And so, but basically I add fun and personality to my presentations. As you can see, Barry has a Bitmoji and he does the same thing, and you might spot some other technology and motion specialists in just a minute who might just kind of invade my presentation. I'm not sure though. Anyway, but I add some fun and personality to my presentations, and you could use these to add to your classroom communication, your information that you send out, resources, handouts, websites, a lot of different things. You just add some personality to it, and until Bitmojis become not hip, you kind of become a little bit more 21st century in your post. So, but the one thing you got to do is be careful not to jump the shark. And if you don't know what that means, it's basically just using Bitmojis for Bitmoji's sake, or just using them crazy. That term, if you click the link there, comes from Happy Days when they were trying to save the show, and they had Fonzie on skis jumping the shark in one of the episodes. And so it's basically, hey, let's just use it to be using it and to do more than what we're supposed to do and go kind of crazy. So, for example, we have been invaded by several technology and motion specialists. And you can see you can play a game here. Guess the specialist. So anybody want to take a stab over in the chat box? All right, please share. Okay, all right. So as you can see, we have, and if you actually go to these, you can click on them, and it'll actually take you to who they are. And so, yeah, come on, guys. Barry's already invaded, and he's back, and of course he's making a comment. And we have Jornay up here dancing, and we have Janet. Looks like she's going down a slide, and Brandy wants to have a discussion. There's Keisha and Buddy and Carol. So come on, guys, let me get on with this presentation. All right, here we go. Oh, okay. So some ways you can do this. You can put these in Google Forms. This is to basically add personality or enhance what you're doing. You can put them in Google Forms. You can make certificates with your Bitmoji, digital badges, classroom signs. I made a classroom sign the other day for one of my workshops because we have 2 boards in the training room, and I like to train on what would be considered the back of the room. And so I have a sign that says Robert will be teaching from this side of the room, and it has me, has my Bitmoji pointing that way. So your teacher web presence, put it on your social media, have an avatar as your teacher picture or your Facebook or Twitter. Use it in your Gmail. If you got any ideas, be sure you share them on the Padlet. Those are just a few examples that you might give a try to. And at the end of this, you're going to see that there is a resource link that has every link that I got my ideas from, as well as every link that I've referenced will be shared at the end, and I'll show you where that is. So let's go on to another use, comics. And you can see I've got a slide shot here of Sylvia Duckworth's presentation on making comics with Bitmojis and Google Slides. She actually has a link to some templates and things where you can actually make comics. And so, you could do this. Teachers could use this to make instructions. You could have a weekly comic that had information, or like instead of a newsletter, you could do a weekly comic with your Bitmojis. Your students can use these to tell a story or to show what they know. Just some really cool things you can, it's kind of a graphic design type thing. You could smash it up with, some other apps. But I'm going to click over here because, let's see here. I wanted to show a couple of these examples that are on this page because I thought they were really, really good to show you. And it even, here's one of the examples right here. Hopefully they'll come up. There's just a simple attention getter. But then here's one that, tells the story of Miss Duckworth. And then here's one that tells the summer. You could have them do that type of thing. And it is a different form of writing and creativity. So they are, showing what they know or putting that out. And there's an instructional one. This was the math one I thought was really cool. And if you actually go to this teacher's website, she has some more things like this for using Bitmojis with math. And then you can see here is another one that looks like a group project instructions. So instead of having just a plain handout, you can, spice those up a little bit. So, and then she has some other resources on that presentation as well. So you just click on that link right there on the picture and you can get the link to that. So, have you ever thought about doing comics with this? Almost, if you look at my corniness of mine, you could almost think this is a comic presentation. Well, bad comic, but anyway. So we'll move on along. And we will look at some other educational uses of Bitmoji. Oh, we have some more visitors. Oh, at least they're doing good things here. Okay. What about using the Bitmojis for customized and personalized feedback? Any of your Google apps, you can use Bitmojis to do feedback. I've put a link where it says Google Apps to Alice Keeler's blog post about this, where she takes where students have written, and you can actually insert these pictures in the comments area, or you could put them in. If someone made a presentation and you were grading it digitally, you could put the comments on there. You could give them good positive feedback. Probably wouldn't want to use some of the negative feedback options here, but this would be a good way to give a fun and meaningful feedback to your students. And so we have Carol and Janet giving some props to. Maybe that's what they're saying about my presentation. I don't know. And the other one was something interesting, and I'm actually going to click on this link because I thought this was pretty good, and I had not thought about this. Just found this earlier today. Actually, I was looking for a few extras for the site, and this is actually using Bitmoji for behavior. And this teacher is using it with Seesaw, which is a really cool app for digital portfolios. And you can see that you can give them says, whenever you feel a child has impressed you and deserves recognition, use a Bitmoji to save an image to show how you feel about their behavior. Things. I was like, that was a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool idea, and you can post those. You know, as you can see here on Seesaw, or if you put them in, you can put them in a different type of work, or it could be an email that you send, or maybe a post in Google Classroom or whatever learning management system that you use. So I just thought that was some pretty cool. Those are a couple of pretty cool, and I'll show this one to you since we've already clicked on one. This is just how you can do feedback on a Google document. And you can see, you can just drag it down there and see there's the feedback. So you see this is, put it in there, the feedback into this Google document here. She even has the idea of doing a table to where you could actually fit it in there. So student response, Bitmoji. So, if you're looking for some good ideas, check those two resources out right there for using these. Okay, let's move on along. Historical or fictional characters. You can do modern versions of these. I didn't redo one. I set out to make a William Shakespeare today, and I didn't like any of the hairdos, so I just decided that I would use some that looked a little bit historical with my avatar, my Bitmoji. And so, but you could do modern versions, and then you could actually have the students retell stories using the Bitmojis. And you think, well, what in the world? What is that? And I found this today, and this was also posted. Alice Keeler actually shared this. I was looking, and this is a retelling of the Jamestown story, and it was someone named Matthew Farber, who, for gamifying the classroom, found this really neat way of using it's like a storyboard of the Jamestown time of history of that colony and or settlement. So I'm going to scroll down because I want to show it to you. I think this is really cool. So this was a 7th grader, and they used Bitmoji to tell the story. And so you see here is, there's the first part, and then they leave, and then they arrive, and then they hide, and then they find and get attacked, and then they get held captive, and then they chose not to kill John Smith, and then he left, and he went back to the settlement, and he went back to England. So the end. All right, so usually it's the 7th grader's mentality there, but I still thought that was a neat way if you could find the Bitmojis that fit. And also I'll tell you that, you can crop these Bitmojis. If I double click here, I could crop out that part right there, especially if you're using it in Google Slides. And I'll hit enter, and you see that, you can crop these. And I think Barry Wigington uses that a lot, to where, as a matter of fact, I'll just click back up on this one. You see he found a picture, probably cropped part of it out, and did use the Google's ability to do call outs. So you could do this, on your own. Come back down to here. You could do that as, as a resource or as a project, and have the kids do Bitmoji posters or Bitmoji Google slideshows, to where you could have them actually put, different things that they say. So, it is just a picture that can be cropped in Google Drive. All right, let's move to the next one. This one's really cool. It does require Snapchat, but it's called a book snap. And the book snap is basically a smash of Snapchat and Bitmoji. You basically use your Bitmoji as a sticker inside of Snapchat, and you're basically annotating and sharing book excerpts. Now, I have the instructions for the lady who's kind of given the credit for creating this, and you can click on that to see what she's done. And I'll do that real quick and show you. And she has a whole write-up here, book called Launch, and scrolls down. Easy as one, download Snapchat, add your pals, and then begin documenting your reflections. And then here's the reasons that you do it. You annotate them. And then she's got a nice little video here that will walk you through how to do it. And then here's some examples of what she's done. I don't know if you can see those because they are scrolling through. But I found an example that I really liked today, and I actually emailed this guy that shared it. And you can actually get it by clicking on the guess what link if I can get down there. And this guy shared it today, as a matter of fact, and I tweeted to him and said, hey, can I use this? And he said, sure. And he was, he said he'd only done 2 or 3 of them, but I thought it was really cool because this is the book snap kind of talking about what we're doing here. It says sometimes it's okay to do things in class because it increases the fun factor, which is exactly what we're doing with these Bitmojis. So thought that was really cool. So here's a simple, draw some arrows, put your Bitmoji in there and highlight something from the book that, you just snap a picture of it and do that. So thought that was a pretty cool thing that you can do there. So thanks to Mr. Gilmer. Y'all go give him a follow. It looks like he's a ed tech guy down in Hattiesburg, so it's not too far away. So hopefully he'll pick up a few new followers today. All right, so let's keep going. I can't stop. I won't stop. I'll always like this one for some reason. So how about a few more? Just a few more because we're at 4:08. It looks like I'm going to run this about the right time. Improve English skills. This link right here will actually tell you ways that these will help with English language learners. Really cool. A lot of resources on this one as we open it up. Hopefully it's not blocked through. There we go. You can see this teacher talks about improving your English with a personal, Bitmoji, and it scrolls through idioms and expressions, things like, let's see, let's keep going here. Texting language, there's a bad one there. New vocabulary, different things like that. So you can kind of see where it has the English language learning options. You can use these as writing prompts or instructional hooks. You can post that, and as I will show you this link that I put here for instructional hooks. It has a ton more resources, not just draw attention, reinforce directions. Here's the instructional hook one: writing prompt, a clue to the lesson, part of the essential question. So you see some resources there, and I like how this particular person has used the Bitmojis to kind of call attention to the different topics that she's talking about. I thought that was a pretty nice way to use it. An illustration in writing. That is basically where you could put it in as a fill in the blank. My ATiM colleagues, if they read their email today, will see where I did this to tell them if they didn't send me a Bitmoji, that I was just going to pick one for them. And I told them to brace themselves. And so, I just thought, you can put that in there to give it a little more, just a little more fun with the writing. And so, basically combining actual writing with something that's 21st century. So it's pretty nice. All right, and then build a school culture. You're like, well, what in the world? How does that work? And, we do a lot of work with PLUs and leadership. And so school culture is something that we talk about in the leadership group and the leadership PLUs. And so as this opens up, I thought this was pretty nice that, there's a whole blog post here about it. And, they did this principal did that. And as it comes down, they use Bitmojis to advertise events at school, announce Teacher of the Year, direct parents to the blog. So, they put them on school websites and school maps and communication. So, it kind of just gives them a little bit of, more, fun with putting those in there. So just to add it to the school culture. And I think a lot of our culture with technology in motion, we use a lot of Bitmojis to communicate. And so it's kind of fun, that culture with us. So, and then you can smash Bitmojis with other apps. You may notice the first slide of this presentation and some of the advertisements that I've been doing. I've smashed Bitmoji with Canva. It obviously smashes real well with Snapchat. What about ThingLink? You know, it's pictures, and you could have the picture there and post that in there. All the Google apps, you know, you can do, you know, you could use the pictures to do different slideshows, maybe even something like, you know, music videos or something. So there's a lot, and I'm forgetting some of those, but, you know, it's an image. So you can use these images with just, you know, with just about any other app. You've got to pick collages and different apps on your phones that you could use. So real good to smash, you know, combine the different apps. Just a couple more slides. Now, just to kind of tie this all together, I found this post. This comes straight from Common Sense Education. Is it good for learning? So it says, you know, it's not as much about the ed tech, you know, it's more of a tool. It's more of a tool that teachers can adapt to you know, to use in educational settings. And basically, the value depends on how you use it. You got to be creative. You know, you got to determine, you know, how you're going to have the kids use it. Notice, you know, they put a warning here to, if you let the students freely explore, you could get to some of that bad content. Okay, but they are engaging, and students are going to see these cartoons, you know, and that's kind of fun, you know, to see their teacher represented as a cartoon, and you know, it might be cool to create these real or fictional people, or, you know, stories with the Bitmojis. And so, you know, you can see what they say here. And if you want to see their whole review, I've linked down here in the bottom right-hand corner. If you click that, it'll take you to their whole review, which has some other comments and some reviews and other things about Bitmoji. All right, so I promised you that we would have resources. Guys, again, okay. Well, yeah. Well, these resources are here for you to, you know, to help you as you go through, and maybe you want to use these. This first one is my Digo resources, my Digo resources, and all of these are, you know, the ones I've tagged with Bitmoji. A lot of them I've already clicked on, but some of them are extras. So you can see here, there's 19 resources here for you to dig into. Most of the TIM specialists and the ones that I could find the Bitmojis to, and those are the ones I found on Facebook or Twitter or in our email. I missed a couple of the folks, but I'll add them to it as I get theirs. Maybe they send them to me afterwards. But you can, you know, contact any of us, and we can, you know, we can be a good resource. And of course, Barry is down here going to, don't forget about the Padlet. So, you know, you can go to the Padlet and post the resources there, and I'll just leave that up. And if you go there, you may see some cool ideas. So anyway, I hope that let's see. So I'm going to look at. Do we have questions? How can I save my Bitmoji to my desktop? Well, you're going to have to when you if you got the Google Chrome extension, you're going to come up here and you're going to right click on the one you want, and you're going to save image as, or you know, and you can save it as a picture on your computer and insert it, or you can copy the image and just paste it in there. Okay, don't copy the image address, copy the image. So you either save it as a picture, or you can copy it and paste it into a Word document or PowerPoint. And those, on how to do those, are listed on that Sylvia Duckworth resource. And there's also a couple of videos in there. Has to be Google Chrome, yes. Unless you save it, you know, if you save it on your app and, you know, email it to yourself, you know, you could go around the world to get that, but it does, you know, it's only a Chrome extension right now. All right. So what time is it? It's either A, basketball time, B, game time, or C, time to go home and play with my kids. Probably going to be C there. But anyway, if you have any questions or anything, you can post those. I'm going to I'm going to turn this back over to them unless you, you know, if there's any questions, I'll answer those. So Keisha, you can take the mic back or take the screen back. As you can see, if everybody got the resource there. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.